Okay. Good evening to all. My name is Swati Vasu, working in the capacity of an assistant professor in English and Business Communication Group. It is my privilege and pleasure on behalf of Bhavan's Institute of Management Science family to welcome each and every one of you here today. Unstoppable leadership success. How great leaders succeed every day is the theme for today's webinar. We are delighted to have with us today the globally acclaimed leadership expert and speaker, Madam Payal Nanjiani. A warm welcome to you, Madam. Payal Nanjiani is one of the world's leading Indian American leadership and success mastery speakers. She is recognized by the media as an influencer in leadership. She helps people and organizers lead and succeed against all odds. Her work is embraced by Fortune 500 companies, celebrity CEOs, and government officials. She is the founder of Success is Within Leadership, which is a globally recognized leadership and coaching organization. She is known as world's top executive coach, known for sharing insider techniques that are bound to get you to your next level no matter what. She is the creator of I Succeed, the only podcast to level up your leadership. She is the recipient of State Golden Key Award. And she is also the author of the international best-selling leadership book, Success is Within. We welcome you again. Mr. Pradeep Bandyopadhyay is the head HR, East G4 Security Services Private Limited. He is also one of the members of the governing body of Bhavan's Institute of Management Science, Kolkata. We welcome you, sir. He will be the moderator for the session today. And with this, we welcome each and everyone and take you and request you to be with us with the seminar on unstoppable leadership success, how great leaders succeed every day. Moving on, let me now request Dr. Ramakanta Patra, the principal, Bhavan's Institute of Management Science, to kindly deliver his welcome address. Sir, over to you.
Yeah. So good evening to one and all present over here. Thank you very much for participating in this webinar and our esteemed guests, Nanjiani Madam and Pradeep Bandyopadhyay sir. You are most welcome, and my dear students, faculty members and other delegates from different areas are most welcome to this webinar. I will not take more time. I'd like to tell something about the leadership. You know, leader means generally question comes in our mind, who is leader? General meaning is that who leads. But the true leader is who leads from the front. That should be the leader. And if you look back, the success story of so many leaders, it can be in any field. It can be in academics, it can be business, it can be politics, it can be economics, it can be finance. Go through the details of their profile, you will find that only hard work with values and ethics gave them the success. Okay, so I believe that each one of you have some hidden potential to become an ideal leader. Okay, so now through this webinar, you will find some tips which will help you to identify what are the skills, what are the traits, what are the good qualities required for a good leader. Okay, try to identify your own potential you have with us. Sometimes you don't know that what is the skill you have. Try to identify that, retrospect that, introspect that, what you are lagging behind. And when we are talking about leadership, we can refer to the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna, he is the ideal of all the leaders, okay, who has given such examples, such thoughts, such ideals through this Bhagavad Gita that everybody follows. And being a management student, management professional, you must follow the Bhagavad Gita. What is the leadership quality? What is required? And what are the Lord Krishna? You see, the choice is yours. If you want to inculcate the ideals, the scripts which is available in this Bhagavad Gita, if you want, you can become a good leader. If you want, you can become a bad leader. Everything is within you. Choice is yours. But you know, if you choose the right one, positive one, then you can be a role model for others. But if you become a bad one, then only what will happen? The history will tell you that he is a very bad leader. So try to see our Indian history also. See the Mahatma Gandhi, how much struggle he has made for the country, how much other freedom fighters, Subhash Chandra Bose, Swami Vivekananda, they are all leaders in different fields. Somebody in spiritual field, somebody in political field, somebody in academics, somebody in management. So all have certain vision, certain mission. So I will not take more time because you are waiting for listening from the eminent speakers today. Lastly, I would like to conclude that हिंदी में एक कहावत है, लीडर वही होते हैं जो जंगल से जाते हैं, वो जंगल सड़क बन जाता है. ओके, बिकॉज ऑफ हिज विजन, बिकॉज ऑफ हिज मिशन, बिकॉज ऑफ हिज फोकस. ओके, दैट लीडर should be within you, and I think you have that leadership potential, that leadership quality. Try to understand where you stand today and where you want to go tomorrow. I think this webinar is going to give you some valuable, some important tips which you can follow in your life. That I told you that it is up to you which type of leader you want to be. You want to be a good leader or bad leader. You can recall the history. Okay, lot of bad leaders are there. We are also reading their history today, but we are also following some role models because they have succeeded in creating good culture, good environment, good practice, good country. They have given a lot of things to the country. That is why they are today treated as a role model. So I would request, urge all the management professionals, try to be a good role model in respective field of operation, finance, management, HR, okay, marketing, whatever area you choose. Try to be a leader. Okay, so today no corporate wants any manager. They all wants only leaders. Leader means, as I told you, leaders जिस जंगल से जाते हैं वो जंगल सड़क बन जाता है. Means you must have some focus, must have some vision. So with these words, once again I will take the opportunity to thank you all, welcome you all for participating in this webinar. Thank you. Enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. With this, I hand over the session to the moderator, Mr. Pradeep Bandyopadhyay. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening to all of you. Good evening to Dr. Patro, Madam Swati Basu, and Payal Nanjiani, and to all the students, the faculty members who are over here. It's indeed a privilege on our part to have Payal over here. She is a globally acclaimed a leadership expert. So I hope and I strongly believe what Dr. Patro was telling is that a lot of inputs will be delivered from Payal, and after this session is over, and we will definitely have a lot more to add to what we have as far as leadership is concerned. Before I start, I would like to mention a couple of points. I see a good number of participants over here. It's more than 80 participants. I think it's better that we have a two-way communication. Obviously, Payal will be guiding us. Payal will be giving us her vision, her thoughts, her views about leadership. But more than that, the students, you definitely will have questions, I know. And I would request if you can come up with your questions in the chat box, and definitely we will entertain, we'll accept your questions if time permits. So let us move directly. But before that, it would be unkind on my part because already Madam Swati Basu has given introduction, but I was going through Payal's profile in the LinkedIn, and wow, that's great. So I have taken a couple of points from the LinkedIn, and I would like to share with the students, the faculty members, the rich experience, the amount of knowledge that she has. So it would be unjust on my part before I introduce or before I tell Payal to start, let me have a few words about him. Though Madam Swati Basu has briefly introduced her. Payal is a globally acclaimed leadership expert and speaker. She is a corporate trainer, motivational speaker. She is an author and executive coach. Not only that, she has empowered more than 1 million people to be great leaders and succeed. That's something great. She is a founder of Success is Within Leadership with a vision to inspire maximum people in the world to become the best version of themselves and to be highly successful in their careers. She has been recognized for introducing the concept of inner leadership, which we would discuss later, which is changing the way people think, act, and behave at their workplace, making people and organizations more successful. She has worked, what Madam was telling, she has worked with global clients and Fortune 500 companies, celebrity CEOs, entrepreneurs, and other experts. Her company, the organization she has founded, has created a high impact on women's leadership and growth. That is also something very, very interesting. And to start with, when I was going through Payal's profile in the LinkedIn, I saw a very powerful statement which mentioned leadership starts and ends with you. Now, I would start with throwing this question to Payal. Payal, what do you mean? Is it you only that leadership is all about? Does leadership start and end with you? That means with yourself only?
Thank you so much, first of all, for having me here at AIMS. And I feel really blessed to be amongst you. Great minds, the youth, the faculty. I mean, you all are the ones who are doing so much during these crises. And, I came to India this year in January. After 21 years, I have come to India and it's a lockdown. But it's really great to be amongst you all great minds here. And you all wonderfully put up everything on leadership that you all had to say. So I don't know what else I should say now. But just with your question, what you asked me, that leadership starts and ends with you. Is it all about myself? Wherever you are, whatever you do, that's where leadership begins. I have seen in my 21 years that people feel that leadership is all about some position. It is about titles. It is about status. It is about having that luxurious office and having people report to you and having more and more followers. But actually, that's a definition of leadership that has been taught to us by the biz magazines, by our schools, by our by our corporate world. Whereas leadership is actually all about you, which means wherever you are, whatever you do, you are a leader in that position. It doesn't have to have a title. So rather than waiting for a title, I have actually witnessed janitors are showing leadership in what they are doing. And I have actually worked with CEOs of Fortune 500 companies who are not able to demonstrate leadership. So when I say leadership starts and ends with you, it means have you developed that mindset to lead regardless of your title, regardless of your circumstance?
Okay. So two important things that you mentioned or shared with us, Payal, is that wherever you are and whatever you do, that is what leadership is all about. So it's the leader in that position which matters. It's something so powerful, so significant. What you are trying to tell the students, what you are trying to tell us. So it's a question of the leader who is there depending upon the situation, the circumstances in which you are. I move to the next question, or I move to the next thing, is that do you think that it is that leadership is only to do with situational? Is the situational leadership, or I frame it in a different way, Payal, is the situational leadership the most important thing that the management professional should have?
Can you repeat that question? Your voice was breaking.
It's Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Payal?
Yes.
Yeah. I just wanted to say it's something, a very powerful statement that you made, that wherever you are, whatever you do, is that is what leadership is all about. Now the question is that the leader can evolve in the position, in that particular position where the person is working or where the person is there. Now, does that mean that the most important type of leadership that we need to have is relating to situation, or is the situational leadership the most important and the significant one which we are talking about? Can you give your views, please?
So when we talk about situational leadership, or is the situation important for a leader, it's your everyday work that you are putting in. Right now, people have different definitions of leadership, but to me, leadership is your mindset, period. If you are able to influence people to change to for the better, to make better decisions, if you are able to create more leaders, your job as a leader is not to create more followers at all. Your job as a leader is to create more leaders who can take up new roles, who can take up new challenges, and again, nothing dependent on the position. So when we talk about situations or situational leadership, it's all about where you are in what you are doing. I'll give you a very classic example that just took place a week back. There was a student who had contacted me for going in for a one-on-one coaching on leadership, and during the coaching session, he mentioned something which I think each of us must have gone through. He said that he wanted to take up this line.
May I request the students to put yourself on mute? May I request, except for the speaker, can others put yourself on mute?
Can the cameras be turned off, ma'am? Then that will increase the bandwidth.
Yeah.
Cameras can be turned off. I think that will increase the bandwidth.
Did I don't know. I think someone is unmuted. Okay, I think am I
Yeah,
audible to everyone?
yeah, it's audible.
Okay, okay. So sorry for that thing. So just to pick up from where I was speaking, that I was giving you the classic example of the student. So for more than a year, he was trying to get into the leadership position at his university, and he wanted to take up that role. And he tried everything. He was giving it his best. He even made sure to work extra hours after his studies and everything. And when it was time for the votes to happen, he did not get enough votes, and he did not get the leadership position. Because of that, he felt very disheartened. He felt very low. He felt there was something missing in him. And I asked him, I said, so what did you do when you did not get into that leadership role that you wanted to do? He said, no, then I left everything and I shifted my focus on something else. And I did not take part in that club at all. Now, this is what majority of us do. We feel that just because we did not get what we wanted, now we should change. We should change our focus. We should change and get into something else. What we don't realize is that the situation in which we are, we did not get that position, but wherever I am, can I show leadership? I may have not got the title that I'm the president of this club, but can I still show that I can work hard, that I can support the new president? I can make sure that I will share my ideas and I will do everything that it takes in my capacity to keep on delivering the good results. So that's why we say leadership starts and ends with you. Wherever you are, you've got to show leadership. It has to be inside of you, not somewhere that you have to achieve something.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your sharing your views. Absolutely splendid. You mentioned two very relevant, very relevant points over here when you were discussing this. Is that it's a mindset. That's something very important. It's your mindset which matters a lot. First of all, and second is that you said that influence people to change. Another very powerful and very effective statement. In this connection, what you were mentioning, Payal, is that we have seen in the organizations that maybe there is at the top there is a manager, but we have somebody in the level of assistant manager or deputy manager, but ultimately that person takes the leadership position. I think that is what you are trying to say. That person himself or herself has created a niche for herself or himself, and all the people look forward to that person as a leader. Though the official, as per the designation, as per the hierarchy, the leader is supposed to be the manager who is at the top. So this, I think you have been very effective in explaining to the students and to all of us that it is about the mindset, it is about the where you are, that where the leadership matters. Thank you so much. Now,
Thank you. And
moving to
can I just add something here? I see we are almost 100 people here
yes,
in this room here, or virtual room. And though I cannot see everyone, at least I should be able to feel your energy. So how about this? Instead of me just talking and answering the
yes, please,
question, how about you all? If you all resonate with something that I am saying, if you believe in what I'm saying, if you
absolutely,
feel you are also like-minded leaders, give me a yes in the chat box every time you
absolutely,
feel that yes, this is something that we want to do and we want to move ahead. And it will show me that we are all connected and we are like-minded people.
absolutely.
So anything that I am saying, please go ahead and put a yes if you truly resonate with it. So let's put up that energy in this room rather than just a passive listener.
Yes, absolutely. Let this be a two-way communication. Absolutely.
Super,
Yeah.
I see it coming. Excellent.
Uh, Thank you. Thanks. Well, now moving to the next concept, there are so many things we want to listen from you. The only constraint is the time. Maybe it can go on for hours. This such a nice topic, such a vast topic, and especially a panelist like you who has got all the years of experience, the rich experience that you're having. So we look forward. The next thing is that this concept of inner leadership. Can you throw some light on what do you understand by inner leadership?
Sure. It's a very good question. Your question is reminding me of my own experience, and I'm going to share it with all of you here. So, this happened in the year of 2000. It was the year when I moved to the United States, and I had left a very thriving career back in India. So I was at the head of the HR at that time. And when I went there, I decided that since I don't know the culture there, I did not know the people, I didn't have a family background back there. I said, how about this? Instead of joining corporate America, how about I join the mid-size companies in America? And at that time, 21 years ago, I was all with one dream only, that I want to achieve the American dream. That's it. So I joined this mid-sized company, and I was very happy with the pay, with the people around. I was getting to learn so much. The only problem was the my boss. Now, not that she was not a good boss or something. In fact, she was very good when it came to delivering the content, or when it came to meeting clients for advertising or something. It was an advertising agency. And the problem was when it came to people management, she was a boss you just did not want around you. Absolutely. And so constantly both of us had frictions constantly. So I waited 6 months, 8 months, because I wanted to gain more experience back in the US then. And then I said to myself, I said, okay, now it's 1 year. I did what any of us would do in that situation. I submitted my resignation letter and I said, now I can probably hop into another job. I have all the experience I need. So I submitted my resignation letter. And because it was a mid-sized company, you all must be knowing, your boss, your boss's boss, everyone knows what you're doing. So the VP of the company, he called me and he said, look, we are rejecting your resignation letter. And he said the CEO of the company, he's very well versed with your work, and he would like you to work in another department independently. I said, fine, great, works for me. I was very happy. So, things went well. After a year, I went into what we call a leadership position, actually. And I still remember it was the year of 2004. And we were just going to take the break for just before Thanksgiving holidays. And the CEO of the company, he had decided that he will meet with every person who is in the leadership for 5 minutes, personally, one-on-one. And I was super excited and I was like, okay, it's my turn to thank him for what he did for me. So when he came into my cubicle, and the moment he came in and he took his seat, the first thing I said was, thank you so much for helping me to move ahead in my career. He looked at me and he said, I have not helped you, Payal. In fact, you have got yourself stuck. And I just didn't know what to say. I was looking at him, and then he goes on to tell me, I still remember his words, that 65-year-old CEO, he looks into my eyes straight and he said, Payal, in our career life, everyone is undeniably going to face problems, issues, hard bosses, conflicts, bad relationships, pressures, deadlines, crises. You're going to have, each of us is going to have our fair share of success and failure also in our career life. And he said, each of us will also be given 4 options. He said, option number 1 is you stay quiet when you have all these problems and issues and conflicts. You stay quiet, just ignore everything around you and keep going ahead with your work. Option number 2, you quit, you go find another job, another boss, and just leave. Option number 3, you stay where you are, you adjust to everyone, but every single day you come to work complaining and you feel frustrated with your job. And option number 4, you raise yourself to such extent, you make yourself so powerful that nothing from the outside impacts you. And he said, everything in your career life from now on will depend on these options that you choose. Wherever you are will be depending on that option. 5 minutes over, he leaves, says thank you to me, and he left. Now, of course, at that time, I of course, it did not resonate very, very deeply, but it did hit me to the core. And as I navigated through my entire career life, being in a country which is being in a field right now which is very highly white male dominated, it made me realize that for each of us, choosing option number 4 is the best. If you really truly want to succeed as a leader, if you truly want to succeed wherever you are, you're a student, you're a faculty, you're working in an organization, you're an entrepreneur, it's option number 4. That brings us to the thing for inner leadership. What inner leadership means when you choose option number 4 is that you are a person who is highly inner self-directed. You know how to bounce back quickly from crisis, from situations. You as a person are not dependent on your boss, on your people, on your society, on the country, on the weather, on the economy. You are not dependent on anyone for your success. You are not you're not blaming anyone for your failures. So inner leadership is all about, there are two dimensions of leadership from what I had understood that day after meeting with him. 2 dimensions of leadership. One dimension is which the vast majority of the people practice. We learn our skills, we upgrade our skills, we learn about communication, conflict management, how to handle teams, how to motivate your teams, how to handle your budget, how to develop your career. All these are the one dimensions of leadership with the vast majority of the people in the world are practicing today. But then there is another dimension of leadership which the top 7% of the people are practicing. That leadership is what we call inner light leadership. They develop themselves so strongly from inside. In fact, all the books that I write, my next book is going to be released next month. All the books that I write share these resources, these practices, these rituals, which are practiced by the top people that you and I speak about, which is not openly available on public domains. And they are the ones who are building themselves from inside to be very self-directed. No one is motivating them. No one is patting them on their back. No one is telling them where to go and what decisions to make. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Payal, how do you know that these people are the ones who are practicing them? So I am humbly sharing this with you. We cannot take names openly, but you can always see them on our website. These are the people who we work with. These are the people who you read in the newspapers and who you read in the Fortune 500 magazines and Forbes magazines. We are working with them every single time. And I have noticed that none of them, not one of them, is cut from a different cloth than you and me. It's just their rituals, their practices, their techniques that is making them be a leader that we call world-class leader. And I'm sharing this with you not to impress you, but to express to you that there is no rocket science for achieving success. Anyone can do it. You can do it anywhere. The key is your inner leadership.
Thank you so much. I think there cannot be a better example than what you just shared, Payal, relating to these 4 cases, wherein we need to take the 4th one, raise yourself to that level where you can perform. And it can nothing be better than to these budding professionals who will be graduating out within a couple of months, and they'll be entering the corporate world. For them, I think your words, vision, and it's really an inspiration to all of them. Thank you so much for sharing your valuable thoughts. We now move, and by the way, we have got a lot of positive vibes in the chat box. Everybody is appreciating. They are involved. I see a lot of things. What sort of mindset is required for the inner leadership? Your speech is awesome, ma'am. Thanks for coming and with your books released. Surely I will read your books. Excellent, ma'am. Great words, ma'am. So your inspiration has worked, Payal. Your motivational words have worked.
It will work when I see all of you coming up with so much of leadership inside of you, and that's when I will feel that yes, you all have taken this and you all have practiced it.
Absolutely.
But I love the energy here. Very
yes,
nice.
yes. They are very positive. They are just bubbling with energy because the inboxes, the chat box that I'm going through, absolutely fantastic. Moving to the next question, or the next topic, which I was thinking of sharing with you, is that which has relevance to this inner leadership, is that these people, the crowd, the audience with whom are talking, Payal, they are management students. Maybe after a few months, they will be entering the corporate world. A lot of challenges. I have seen with my own life. You must have seen with your life. Dr. Patru is there, Madam is there. Everybody who have entered the corporate world or have entered in their working sector, they have seen that there is a lot of difference of what we study, what we read in the books, and what we think required to be implemented. Especially when the situation comes that you need to show your leadership qualities. Under that circumstances, your words of advice, maybe your words of some thoughts, if you can share with them, which will be a value addition and inspiration to them. With the background that these people will be graduating out, they will be entering the corporate world, and they will be they are ready to take up assignments which are challenging.
Something that I would say, which you can practice from today onward itself, which will help you a big time big time in your way ahead, whether you become an entrepreneur, whether you join corporates worldwide, wherever life takes you, I don't know. But wherever you go, if there is one thing that you can do is to make sure that you begin to today onwards to raise your leadership capacity. What I mean by that is very simple. Always remember that wherever you are, that's where your income, your success, your team, everything will stop where you are. You're like that dam. The force will come, but nothing will be able to surpass you, which means nothing will be able to surpass your leadership height. Now, when I say leadership height, leadership capacity, I'm going to give you a very simple way of remembering it. Every single day, ask yourself on a scale of 1 to 100, where are you on your leadership? So say, for example, I say I am at level 50, which means, okay, I am at here today. Now, if I say, oh, you know what? I want to make sure that I get into Google. I get into, I really wish that these top management people, they recognize me and they connect with me over LinkedIn. Guess what? Those people have already raised their leadership up here. So they are not looking for you here. They are going to look for someone who is up here, which means it's your responsibility to raise your leadership capacity to become noticed and to become, to connect with those type of people. Now, maybe if you're at 50 and you tell yourself, hey, I really want to make sure that I'm earning, tons of dollars or whatever success means to you. I don't know what your definition of success is because it means different things to different people. But whatever it is that you're looking for, always remember, where are you? Nothing in your life will ever surpass you and your leadership, which means if you are stuck, if you feel, hey, you know what, I had given a lecture in the NC State, in Duke University and in Stanford, and I always told those students, I said, look, after graduating from here, you may feel, hey, you know what, I'm a Harvard graduate, I am a IIM graduate, I'm from IITs, I've done MBA from all these colleges here. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are, that means you're getting yourself stuck. That great, I've learned what I've got to learn, I've done what I've got to do, and guess what, my friends, everything is going to come and stop here, and it's going to hit you very hard. And when it hits you, it's going to pain because you're going to feel stuck. If you want more income, more success, more positions, more growth in your career, in your business, always ask yourself this question: on a scale of 1 to 50, where am I on my leadership today? 50, great. Can I make it 51? Can I reach to 60 tomorrow? How am I making sure that I raise my leadership capacity? It's going to help you big time. And this is something I have practiced it. And I'll give you a very humble, I'll give you this example very humbly. If I would be stuck where I am, I would have worked with a very victim mindset. It's not possible. I would have been telling myself everything that everyone else told me around me. It's not possible to be a speaker in a male dominated white society in America. It's not possible to write leadership books for a woman in America. If I would have let that, if I would have been stuck where I am, I would have consumed all what was told to me from the outside. But my friends, when you raise your leadership capacity, you leave all that negative talk, all that, naysayers, like you call them, you leave them down and you move upward. It's all in your leadership capacity. And it is something I explain very openly in my books. I very openly share stuff in my books and on my social media. So this is something I would really, from my heart, ask everyone to practice.
Thank you so much. In fact, uh, uh, taking it in a different way, it's basically what, ma'am, you are trying to say is that you need to have measurement through quantitative means, having a qualitative approach. I think that is what it is. because it should be measurable. That is the most important thing.
Yes, and you will be able to measure it because
Sure.
everyone has a very unique parameter of their leadership capacity. How quickly do you come out of crisis? How quickly
Correct.
do you let naysayers out of your way and navigate ahead? It's again something that has to be built inside. It's not something that can be learned from the outside. The results are visible outside.
Correct. Sure. We are getting a couple of questions, Payal, through the chat box from the students.
Sure.
A very important question which has been posted by someone is that, can a leader face failure?
I think anyone can face failures.
Anyhow, but that is something very interesting. Madam Sevanti Debroy Sen has posted that in the chat box, that whether a leader can a leader face failure? Yeah, everybody can, I think.
Like I said, when I talk to people, I talk to people with knowing that they are a leader, not seeing their position, not seeing where they have reached in their life, not seeing what monetary gains and wealth they have, just knowing that you are a leader. That's it. Now, so can a leader face failure? Yes. I may have been, I may be having more failures in my life than I can ever count, and I'm happy for them because if I would have not failed, I would have not known how to navigate and move ahead. So yes, failure is something which I befriended, and I would say befriend failure. It is more loyal than
Correct.
success. I don't know what the
Exactly.
definition of success is. I don't believe so much in success being outside, but definitely it's a very loyal friend is failure.
Good. Payal, you got a very good compliment from one of the students who's mentioning that, Aritrapal, I think. Ma'am, you showed that this is in this way you are the best influencer. So you are creating positive vibes. You are they have been influenced by your discussions.
I
Thank
told
you
you
so much.
when I started the session, I said that I am blessed to be amongst you all because you all are the great minds over here.
Oh, great. That's something fantastic. Moving to the next thought process, which has some relevance with the previous discussions that we are having, is that now let us bring the COVID-19 situation. Things are absolutely haywire. Everything, what it was 4 months back and what it is now, everything has changed. The entire world is now, I don't know what is the term, different people are telling in different way, but I think the entire thing has changed. Everything is being looked at from the different aspect. Under this situation, ma'am, what is your take as far as leadership is concerned? What are the leadership, are the leaders under threat? First of all, is their leadership questionable, or do you, or I take it in the other side and the other ways, that do you think this situation is an opportunity for the leaders to show that they have their ability to perform? How do you take it, ma'am?
Definitely to what you just said, they have the ability to perform. In fact, I think it was around 2 weeks back that I had put up something on my LinkedIn. I usually put up a leadership mantra every week. And I think this is something I had put regarding your question is that
I have gone through
it's,
a couple of your leadership mantras, ma'am, and
oh,
I
you did?
learned a lot. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, in that, I'm not sure if you must have caught this one where I had mentioned that it's very easy for anyone, whether it's you all or me, it's very easy for us to stay calm and to make great decisions and smile and be very happy when things are going well in our life, when we are getting what we want to get from life. It's in hard times that leadership really comes out. There was a book that my father had gifted me, I think when I was in my very early 20s, when I was just beginning my career. I'll share that name with you. That book has stayed with me up till now. Tough times never last, but tough people do. Not sure if you had a chance
Correct.
to ever read that book. It is one book that I do not trade for anything. It's still with me in my library. Tough times never last, but tough people do. So, let me ask you something here, and I would love your responses in the chat box because this is a very great question asked about COVID. I want to know your take on what is more,
Exactly.
what is worrying us more? Is it the fear of the COVID, or is it the COVID itself? It's a very deep question. If you go to see what is worrying us more today, is it the fear of COVID, or is it the COVID itself? And I would love to hear your responses on this one, because and the other thing I want you to ask yourself every day, and especially in this cases, what mindset are you working with these days? And I like the answers coming. Some are saying it's the fear of
Disturbances
COVID,
in
the
the
fear.
audio. Some disturbances in the audio, please. Sorry, I'm just interrupting.
Can you hear me?
The audio is getting some issues. But there are some disturbance. It's audible, but it's not clear. That
Okay, can you hear me now?
can I get a response from others, please, whether the audio is okay or not?
Yeah, just give a something in the chat box, a thumbs up or something if the audio.
Respond, please. If they thumbs up, any response with the audio?
Okay, they are saying it's clear now. Yeah, perfectly audible. They say. So, based on what answers you all have given, that yes,
Yeah,
it's the
clear.
fear of COVID. And I think I resonate with your answers, because when this crisis took place, let me tell you, even I had the fear, the fear of how is my work going to go, what about my travel, what about my clients all over, what about the health, what about the situation at home, everything, what about my family, everything. So the fear of COVID, if that is more than the COVID itself, the pandemic itself, it means that we are operating every single day with a victim mindset, not a leader's mindset. And it did take me also a while to make that shift and decide that no, I'm not going to lead a life of a victim in this situation. It's got to be a leadership mindset. So the fear of COVID is more, which means every single day, either you are waiting for the situation to change, and give me a yes if that's happening to you, because it did happen to me earlier. You're waiting for the situation to change, you're waiting for things to become more better. You feel you're stuck, you feel you're confused, you're blaming the situation, you may be about to get some good news from somewhere, some good promotion, something great happening, and now you're like, oh my god, it's all because of this that it's happening. When will all this change? You're questioning yourself that when will all this change? Why did this have to happen right now? It could have happened after 6 months, because I would have got what I had to get then. And I love those yes, because that is very natural for it to happen. But if you're continuing to operate in that victim mindset, then let me tell you, even when the situation changes, nothing great is going to change in your life, because you've got into that mode of waiting, you've got into the mode of blaming. So the situation will change. The pandemic maybe will definitely get over. There is no doubt in my mind for that. It will definitely get over. People will survive through it. What's going to matter is how did you break through it? How did you turn out? Because once the pandemic is over, there will be some other crisis. Maybe all of a sudden you will hear some huge economic crisis. Maybe all of a sudden you will hear something else. So that means, how long are you going to wait? That's the question you have to ask yourself. How long am I going to wait? So as a leader, you want to make sure you call yourself as a leader and you work with a leadership mindset, not as a victim.
Oh, thank you so much. I think something very relevant considering the situation or the circumstances in which we are passing through. And there's an uncertainty. So what you said is absolutely relevant, because not waiting for the situation to change. So we need to be proactive, I think, under the present circumstances. I think there is a question from Mr. Vishwarup Chatterjee, which he would like to ask. He has raised his hand. So if Mr. Chatterjee can kindly pitch in, please.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, ma'am. I'm just asking one thing, that do you think that leadership is something that you have to prove it every day by doing your work? and not pretending. First thing. And the second thing is that how do we know? Because I'm not a leader from outside, definitely by designation. But how do you know that my boss or the leadership under which I'm actually working is actually doing a work and not pretending anything?
Okay, so these are two different questions, and I love both the questions what you've asked. Both of them are great. Number one, you said, uh, is leadership something that I have to show every day through my work? Yes. Leadership is something you show every day, everywhere. Not just at your work, but you show it everywhere, wherever you are, at your home, at your university, at the malls. I tell people, you every day there is an opportunity to show leadership.
Yes.
And those opportunities, people feel that, oh, I have to wait for something really big to happen, and I'm going to go there in that situation and show, hey, look, I can do it. It won't come out at that point of time. It's those little acts that we do every single day, those little acts of kindness, of helping people, of coming up with new solutions, of innovations, of disruptions. It's those little acts of creativity that is going to help you. When the big situation comes, you have built your leadership capacity to that extent that it's going to come out very well. You're going to, it's going to shine out at that point.
Okay. Okay.
So yes, it is an everyday act. In fact, I'll give you another example. When I shadow executives to coach them, one of the things I always say is, if I can spend one day with you, okay, one day with you, just by seeing how you operate today, I can tell you whether you are on the path to success or are on the path to failures and away from your goals. Just one day spending with them. So every day is a day to show that yes, I have my leadership intact. It's inside of me. And regarding your second question, I'm just going to rephrase that so you can tell me whether I understood that clearly. That if I have a boss who is got the leadership position, but how do I know whether he is really leading or not? Is that correct
Yes,
somewhere?
yes, yes. What is the measurement criteria that I should able to know? I should be able to know that things are working. Actually, the leadership is working at all. Because, ma'am, what is happening in India? A lot of people preach. Actually, they preach a lot and just doing nothing. So, how to
Yes.
know, how to measure that the leadership is actually working or not? Because it's for my career. Because if I want, if at all I came to know that it is not working, so probably I'm wasting my time there.
I don't know what you would mean when you say it's not working, like not working
Leadership,
for whom? Yeah.
leadership for the organizational goal.
Okay. So yeah, that is something which is seen in their outcome. That's number one. Number two is that leader creating more leaders, or is he happy that I have great followers and I will direct them what to do? So when
Okay.
you direct people what to do, you're basically saying, hey, follow what I am telling you because I know I am right. Versus I tell person that, okay, I am going to be with you. We are going to do this together and I'm going to help you move ahead. So any person who helps you to move ahead, who has your interest, who has the interest of the organization, will always put forward the outcome, will never put forward themselves. So
Okay.
that's one criteria to know. And when you said that people in India, they preach something and they say, well, I would say I have traveled all over the globe by now, and this is something which is globally true. People,
Okay.
why do we say that leadership is not with any position? It's got nothing to do with the chair on which you're sitting on. It's got to do with your mindset.
Hmm.
And I'm just sharing this aloud here, that I feel very fortunate that after 21 years I am now in India, and I am here to actually help companies and a lot of people, whether it is students, universities, companies. I've devoted 75% of my time now here in India, and I'm really happy to say that, because I feel this is my roots and I am here in my roots.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks, Weil. Uh,
thank
Moving, thank you so much. Moving to the next thought process, which we were thinking of deliberating, is that we have seen that whenever there is a change in leadership, especially of the senior management in an organization, in the society also, a lot of changes take place. I have seen in my corporate experience that a senior leader moves from the organization. A lot of exodus takes place in the organization. His quote unquote his followers who were there in the hierarchy, they move along with him, and there is a vacancy in the management is now thinking, they are banging their heads what to do. A vacancy has been created because the CEO or X, whoever it is, blah blah blah, has left, and along with that the entire team has left. How to deal with that situation? How from the organizational perspective, or from the individual who is there in the organization, who is running the show, how to deal with that if such a situation arises? I may be allowed to say that it's a leadership crisis in the organization, if you allow me to say so.
Sure, sure.
You must have seen it, considering your
Yes.
experience with so many corporates. You must have seen situations like this.
Yes. Again, I repeat, this vacuum is created because we don't build, we build more
Exactly.
followers. And
We
if you
don't.
build followers, you are giving them directions every day. Now they are going to wait for your directions. So, in one of the articles that I had posted in the Forbes magazine was that we need to create inner circles in our organization. Now, inner circle doesn't mean that, oh my God, I need to have people who will favor me and who will keep listening to me and will always agree to what I say. No, what I mean is, you have to have an inner circle that these are my core people who are moving upward. So you don't create that vacuum. You build inner circles at every level in the organization, not just at the top, every level. So from the individual contributor right up to the CEO, everyone gets an opportunity to showcase their leadership. And we've done this in many companies. It has wonderful results, because when you build those inner circles create more inner circles. It's a ripple effect in your company, and you're away from those vacuums. In fact, a lot of companies, who we know, like Coke and Coca-Cola and Cisco, all of these, they create those inner circles so that there is a ripple effect in what they are manufacturing, in how they are moving ahead. But if you're going to sit there and say, okay, I am a leader and no one should take my position. In fact, I will tell you something here. This is a very nice question. It reminded me something. Many leaders, and I'm sure all of you who are here must have felt that at some point, many leaders, they feel a lot of pride that when we leave, people are going to miss us. The
Exactly.
entire structure
Exactly.
is going to fall. Well, in that case,
And
I don't think you were a great leader. If something has to fall after you go, and if people are not able to move ahead after you've left that chair, there isn't a great legacy that you have left there.
what you are telling is absolutely correct. And I've seen these leaders take pride, and they feel that it's a sort of threatening call that they give to the management that, see, if I am to move out, your entire organization will collapse, which is something
Yeah.
very disturbing, something very
Yeah,
disturbing and alarming also.
very much. And then what type of legacy have you left, and what type of leader have you
Exactly.
been?
Exactly. Pal, one question which we can take from the chat box is that Shoptik Basu, he has written that, do you think leadership is mostly strategic in nature? Uh, that he has posted. It has to do with strategy only?
No, in fact, it has very little to do with strategy. When you talk about strategy, it is the first dimension of leadership that I spoke. We call it as the level one leadership. So when you are on level one leadership, that's when you have to build on strategies, on your skills, on your abilities to prove that you can do the work as you do it. But after a certain level, you've got to have more of, your what types of ideas, what type of innovations, what type of disruptions, and all that will start to come and build up when you have again raised your inner leadership. That's very important. Strategies are needed. No company can go ahead of strategies, but always remember the strategy is coming from what type of a mindset. If I am feeling disturbed from inside, if I am a leader who is always in tension, worry, and I have I'm always overthinking, what type of strategy am I going to come out with? Versus if I'm a leader who is very inner self directed, who knows exactly how to keep in control the calmness and everything, my strategy will be very different at that point of time. So, in fact, our corporate world, our education system, and when I say our education system, I mean the entire global planet education system. It teaches us that you've got to work hard, you've got to get good scores, just follow the rules and be great at your job, and you're going to lead. It is going to make you very successful in your life. Well, it's great to believe, just to hear that, but if you're working with that belief, let me tell you, it's not going to take you too far in your life. There is a point in your life where hard work, and everything else comes to a halt. And what's more important is what type of mindset am I working? Now when you change your mindset, that same hard work gives you better results.
True, absolutely true. Uh, mm, Moving to the next one, Payal, a couple of questions which I would ask, maybe they may be silly, but I need to know from your point, maybe a bit childish or silly questions, but I need to know because I think these questions are oft asked, and we also have to face the same situations. Is to manage and to lead the same? It's a very silly question, but I need to know from you.
No,
You are an expert
no,
in
no.
this.
Yeah, no. It's a very good question. Absolutely no silly questions here, and I love listening to questions. That's what it's the questions from so many years that I've been answering that helps me to know what people are looking for. No, managing and leading is not the same. When you're managing something, it's more task oriented. You're like a producer. Finish this task, get this done on time, finish on this deadline. We have to produce this content. We have to get this out. So that's more task oriented leadership. Sorry, more task oriented work. But when you are leading, you are taking everyone with you. The task has to be accomplished, but it is accomplished with everyone in sharing their viewpoints, in the leader guiding and mentoring, not just saying that this is to be done. So there is a thin line of difference. In fact, I think there is a thick line of difference between both of them.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much. Another very repeated questions, and it is also a very. I think you have come across this question where many a times: are leaders born or are leaders made? Though it's a very silly again. I again repeat, but whether leaders are born or whether leaders are made.
Now, I like the question. Yesterday, we put up a video on this, Born to be a Leader. So just yesterday, my team put this up on YouTube and also on LinkedIn, that Born to be a Leader, where I actually spoke that we have everything that we need. This is something I believe, and you will see this belief of mine in all of my books and social media resources. I believe that we are all here in our jobs, in our business, not to survive. We are here to thrive. I believe that there is a lot of success that is already within us, and I also completely believe in the fact that success does not discriminate between genders, age, location, country, or anywhere. But it does discriminate between people who are purely interested. They are only interested in becoming successful versus people who are committed to be successful. So that's where I say the leaders are born. We're all born to lead, but are we going to be world-class leaders? Are we going to be better leaders? Are we going to demonstrate leadership? That depends on your commitment. Your daily actions is going to speak louder than your words.
True. Thank you so much.
So I'm going to add something here that I remember. Sorry to cut you down, but
No, please,
so
please.
when I
We would love to hear
say
from you.
leaders are born, when we say leaders are made, it means how you are developing yourself every single day. That's the difference.
Correct.
Leaders are born. Now, how are you making yourself to be that leader that you wish to be to achieve your success? Sorry to cut you out on
No, no,
that.
it's okay. Thank you so much. In fact, one statement which you made, I was just wondering about that. We are here to thrive, not to survive. I think this should go to all the participants over here. We have, I mean, it's such a powerful statement.
Yeah,
We are here to thrive, not to survive. I think
to survive.
that is the be all and end all of everything what you are telling. Absolutely fantastic. Uh, One question, maybe time is running fast. So one question before I take questions from the learned faculties, maybe one questioning, one thought process, one your views, please. Your LinkedIn profile mentions that your company has created high impact on women's leadership and growth. Uh, why especially you are mentioning women's leadership and growth? Is there any significance to this?
Yeah, there is a significance. It's actually from my own life. Again, I'm repeating this very humbly. Um, when I was named as one of the only women of Indian descent to be a leadership speaker and author in America, that's when I realized that, okay, there is something which the women are not realizing, and which is that the empowerment that we all talk about, women empowerment, has nothing to do from your environment or from outside. Though it's a great, very great initiative our entire world is doing today, that we are empowering women to grow and move ahead. At the same time, women have to believe that they have to first empower themselves before before they can expect empowerment from someone else outside. So with that in mind, and with seeing the whenever I am in a boardroom with the executives for any meeting, whenever I am delivering a lecture or a keynote, or maybe some trainings or workshops in corporates, I do see that I have more men around me than women. So I've always spoken to more men in my life than the women. So that shows me that there is some discrepancies. And when I went to the root cause of it, so when I went to the root cause of it, I came to know that many women, they shy away from taking up management positions and leadership roles. They shy away from talking about success, about more income. They don't want to show that they are achievers, and they don't want to talk about achievement, which I feel the outside world can do nothing. This is something from inside, and that is why a part of me always does what I can for women leadership.
Thank you so much. It was really inspiring and really thought provoking, especially to the ladies who are over here. Uh, I would request the honorable faculty if you can have any questions which you can share with Payal, and so that we can have her views.
One question. One question.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Ma'am, we all have some basic instincts, human basic instincts, and that sometimes overshadowed our, leadership phenomena or leadership styles, maybe, as you have rightly said about situational leaderships. Like how to control this basic instinct that it should not overshadow our leadership skills or leadership styles, especially at workplace.
I would love to ask you for example, if you
Okay, right.
have.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. Right. Like anger, anguishness is a kind of human instinct. Like love for positions, love for power is a kind of instinct. And killing somebody for own purpose is a kind of human instinct we all have from Stone Age. Now, I'd like to ask that in everyday situations we have seen that it's a killing positions, killing scenario in corporates, especially in marketing and sales. Now, if you are a marketing leader or marketing, you are leading some marketing department or some sales department, it is very, very widely said over there. Okay, if you do not have that killer instinct within you, or the Stone Age instinct in you, you cannot succeed into that role. It is an indispensable kind of characteristics, you can say, for the job. But here, what we are learning right now, hearing right now from last 1 hour, that you have to, balance everything, and you have to go for some kind of humanistic approach to the employment and your employers and everything, to the situations, humanistic approach. So how to balance? Because you cannot balance, or you cannot manage any kind of humanistic approach with a killing approach, killer instinct. Can you?
Yeah, you're very correct. So, in fact, these instincts, especially like you said in the marketing field, it's also we see them a lot in people who are approaching CEO level.
Yes.
And because they have to deal with stakeholders, we see that all the time they are dealing with shareholders. They have to make sure that their company's market is above the other company's market, right? Now, that type of a killing approach, that type of an approach is basically what you are planning to do for your company. That's one aspect of it. I'll come to it in details. Now,
Mm.
there is something what we call uh, uh, you know the the law of detachment, which is very is what we hear in our books, scriptures here, but we don't practice it. It's a very different thing, and it's not just scriptures here. You read any scripture, it will talk to you about it. What it means is what you are doing is separate from what you are delivering. Now, that doesn't mean, I never believe in that fact that, okay, you do and don't go behind the results. No, no, no. You have to deliver the results, you have to go behind the results. But is that thing, that that killing thing that you said, is it changing you from inside?
Yes.
If it is changing you from inside, then it is not a holistic approach.
Okay.
Okay? If it is keeping you stable from inside, if it is keeping your dominant nature stable from inside, but you are doing it because you know exactly what strategies to use. Now, when we say, see, for example, uh, would you relate this with corporate politics also?
No, I would like to relate with everyday corporate working. Like if somebody, some employees, a group of employees, or maybe some individual employees are not doing whatever it has to be delivered for the profitability goal, then do you have every right to be anguished with them, or what is the strategy would be there? Because then the instinct will come up instantly,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what is that anguish going to accomplish? That's very important.
Yes.
What is that anguish going to accomplish for you as a leader is very important. If it is going to get your results, and if you feel that this is the way you want your results every time,
Okay.
then it's definitely something which you are going to do it every time. When you don't do it, you're not going to get your results. And again, in the bargain, you've created more followers than leaders. Think
Okay.
of another approach in the same situation that you just said, and I would love to talk with you offline also on this, because I don't want to hold back anyone, but definitely
Okay.
just message me on LinkedIn, and I would love to take this offline also with you. Like you rightly said, what is my results that I want to accomplish? What am I? See, the being is more important than the doing. In fact, in my first book, I have stressed so much on this, that the top leaders like that we are seeing are concentrating on the being, not the doing, which means as a being, how do I want to evolve in my workplace? How do I want to be as a person as a result of, as compared to the task that I have to get accomplished? Because the
Okay.
task will get accomplished. What
Mm.
are some of the different ways? Now, why we get that anguish, why we get that anger out at that moment is because we have not reflected in the past of what other ways I can accomplish the same results and be a world class leader. How would a
Okay.
world class leader accomplish in this situation?
So finding
So,
best alternatives, you are saying.
yes, but that requires reflection. It won't come at
Yes.
that moment. So,
Mm.
like for example, you just now said, right? If you go back and you just think, if this situation I had to handle something differently, how would I handle it? Where my anger would not be used as a tool for getting my work done. That's number one. Second, what are some of the reasons that this pattern in my team, in my company, in my people is repeating? There has to be a pattern. Can you break that pattern? Can you break that chain? And can you see the reasons behind why it is happening? That's when you become that leader, what we call world class.
Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Which I guess you're already on that path.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much. I would love to have questions if there are any, or maybe Payal can be contacted offline also. I believe if there are anything, definitely.
I'm trying to see how do I share over here so I can probably share where they can reach me. But oh yeah, here. Okay. Can I just share the screen?
Please, please.
Okay, I'm just going to try and see if what pops. Okay.
Ma'am, please share
Just
your
share.
LinkedIn profile also.
Yeah. It's all under my name of Payal Nanjiani. And for anyone who is really wanting to get on the other side of leadership, get more into the leadership mindset than the skill set, when you go on my website, you will find over there you can join my leadership club. There are millions of people, like-minded people on that in that club, and we put a lot of I send out a lot of stuff once a week in the email for people who have joined that club. It's absolutely free. It's something I do for people who cannot get in touch with me for one-on-ones, or whom I cannot help because of my time. But whenever you go on the website, just feel free to fill that in and join. I think we will be soon coming to a closure of it because it's crossed the number of limits it can accept. But if you get to that, just join the leadership club and you will be in there lifelong. And of course, I'm a connector. I love to connect wherever I travel, whoever I meet. Just put me a line that you heard me at Ames and I will accept the connection.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. I think the time is over, but we would have loved to. Uh, Personally, from my end, I would have loved to talk for hours, because whatever you are telling is a resource for us, and whatever you are sharing will be with us, and it's so important, so relevant, and so inspiring for all of us. Thank you so much. I would request Principal Sir if you can take up and say something before we conclude, because I think the time is already over. We are running short of time.
So thank you very much. It was a very wonderful session. Everybody might have enjoyed the session. The tips, whatever has been discussed today, take home is very valuable. So go back and inculcate these practices which had been discussed today. This very fruitful discussion was there, and everybody has participated. Thank you all for participating, and looking forward to organize such sort of discussions. And once the thing normalizes, we will request Madam to visit our institute once again, so that we can have a day-long workshop for the students and the faculty members. Thank you once again. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for your time and for inviting me. I feel so blessed to be with all of you. And I really hope I was of value.
Thank you so much. You are valued like anything, ma'am. This much I can say on behalf of the Institute and AIMS. Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to the presentation for your very interactive interaction. It was nice of you that you have interacted in such an effective way that everybody was enjoying. And from here, I am getting lot of messages also that excellent session is going on. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for helping us. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you for this Rana and Swati ma'am. They have tried up to their full extent and possibility. They have tried best to organize within a short notice this program. And thank you all and the students who have participated, and really the faculty members who all have participated and joined actively in the discussion. Thank you very much. Keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. With this, we mark a close of the webinar.
Thank you, students, and we look forward to seeing you again. Maybe virtual, and at the same time, we do hope to meet you face to face. Thank you so much,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
It was really wonderful, vast and varied experiences. So,
Thank
with
you,
this
ma'am.
remark, I close, and may I request Ranada
Thank
to
you. Thank you very
end the
much.
session.
The speech of our ma'am is awesome, ma'am. Thank you.
We can wind up.
Ranada, please end the session.